Good night. Here, one done tonight. God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Ernie Jill Spirit Divine. I'm here to give you a little short news on tonight. First, I'm gonna start with bad news. I'm sorry to hear this that happened. My three children had died in a house fire just across the river in Grab. So I be hating to hear anything about children that happen. So hundreds had gathered together to mourn for this family. That the children had died in this house fire. Now they still don't know what the cause of the fire. You know, but everyone came together to support this family. Because it's sad when you hear something about kids. So sorry about that. So it's sad when you hear something about kids. So there was hundreds of people that said came together to mourn for this family. So we can't imagine when you lose a child. Just like we did, we lost 19 children in school. Now we losing these children in the fire. So we can't imagine the pain that this family are feeling right now. So but I will pray. Nothing we can do but just pray to lift up this family. Pray to God that God give them strength to keep on going on to face what they have to face in life and to try to plan their funeral. They're gonna need all the support they can get. They're gonna need the strength. So we all are sorry. That this happened. So I will be praying. I will be praying to give you strength to keep on, because I can, we can imagine this is just so heartbreaking. So I want to give my condolences for the loss. Sorry that this terrible tragedy that happened. I give my deepest sympathy, to the family. So that's the story on the children. So we have Roland Martin Unfiltered. He talking about the immigrants. They just got dropped off. Just got dropped off. You know, Transporting immigrants. Detroit division and highway races. The little Murray, the police black. So immigrant was transported. Transported to out of Florida. Just transferring the escort out of Florida. Trafficking immigrant got dropped off and they didn't know where they was gone. They don't know how to speak English, and some ended up in Martin Vineyard, while others were dropped off in front of Vice President Miss Harris in Washington D.C. So they dropped some off at Martin Vineyard. Then they dropped some off in front of the Vice President, home. And by they don't know how to speak English. They know how to speak for themselves. They just getting dropped off at different places. And they don't even know what's going on. Don't know how to speak on their behalf. So the immigrant was placed on a bus, escorted out of Florida. But now they don't speak English. And they didn't know where they was going or know how to speak up for themselves. So they don't speak English. So they couldn't say anything or where we going or what we, where we going and where you taking us. So they were just placed on the bus. And they dropped some off at the vineyard, and then they dropped the rest of them off in front of the vice president home. So when you have to escort immigrants to another location, I request that you have someone on that bus that can speak English, that can translate back to the immigrants where they can ask questions of where you're taking them. You know, instead of just having immigrant on the bus and just taking them somewhere, dropping them off, and they don't know where they're going, or they don't even know where they at. You know, so well, immigrant can speak on where they're going. You know, so I request that in the near future, when you have to escort immigrants, please, I request that you have someone on that bus that can translate their kind of language. Well, you know, where they can ask that person questions of where are they going. You know, so they could even ask questions or could find out where they going due to they could not speak English. You know, so have someone on that bus that can translate their kind of English, their kind of speaking language. You know, so in the near future they'll be able to speak up for themselves and ask where they're going. You know, if they have someone on that bus can translate their language. You know, so so we gonna talk about, you know, I think last week we talked about how Vice President, she was saying if President Bennett re-elect again, she'll be proudly to stand by his side and do it again. You know, but now, you know, President said it much too early to make a decision. Now he's saying it's too early to make a decision right now. You know, it's about running again to open up doors to a chance that he might not seek re-election for 2024. You know, he's saying it's too early for to make a decision right now. You know, so President Bennett said it's too early to make a decision. You know, so now early on that he would run again, but it's just an intuition. You know, because remember the last time they were saying he was going to run. So he said yes, he was saying it, but he said it was just an intuition. You know, sometimes things can be on your mind that you want to do this and do that, but you know, deep down inside, it's just an intuition. You know, so whether he will run and mark a shift from what he and his aides have been saying publicly for the most of his presidency. You know, so uncertain to a question, you know, that will be front and center for Democrat after this year midterm election. You know, so around the holidays, you know, so he's saying around the holidays, he hoped that he will be able to announce a decision early in the new year. You know, so he said in around the holidays, you know, he should be able to announce a decision. You know, so he thinking about it, and if he come up with the decision that he will re-elect, he said it will be announced around the holidays. You know, so President Biden acknowledged, you know, public that he is undecided. You know, President Biden said they criticize, you know, that he is unfit, you know, for the job at his age. You know, President Biden said to his critics, he said, "Watch me." You know, that's true. He said criticizing his age, criticizing that he unfit. You know, so go some more rounds. You know, but he said, "Watch me." You know, so he do have energy. You know, to keep going. You know, because he been sick for a while now, and he still have energy to keep on going. You know, he's still flying all over, making his speech. You know, so he, I do think that he's doing a good job. You know, he said that his mental focus on the job. You know, so he said no matter what people think of his age, he still focuses on the job, and he's still getting it done. You know, so ask about his receipt stirring success as of late. You know, President Bennett equipped how an old guy can do that. You know, so he getting around. You know, he not sitting down. He getting around and still getting the job done. You know, so his plan is to run for re-election. He said that's his expectation. So he have expectation, he have intention, but he don't have a decision right now to make. We talk about these children. These children got burned, died in this house fire, and Gretna across the river. All we can do is just pray for the families to give them strength to keep going. Because dealing with children, that is a terrible pain to have. You know, so I give my sympathy to the family. So we talked about the immigrant just got dropped off like traffic. They just got dropped off. They couldn't speak English. They couldn't say stop, don't do that. Where we going? They just got dropped off. You know, two directions. One got dropped off at Malta Vineyard, and the other group got dropped off in front of Vice President home. You know, just got dropped off. And I had requests the next in the near future when you have to escort the immigrant, make sure they have someone on the bus that can translate their language. So that way they can ask the person questions or where we going. They have no one on the bus to translate their English. So they could not speak for themselves and ask questions. So in the near future I request to have someone on that bus that can translate their English. Where they can ask someone, well, what you got? What location you taking us to? So that can be in place for the next time. And so we talk about Mr. President Bennett. He said right now it's too early to make any kind of decision for a re-election for 2024. But he said look out for around the holidays. He probably will make an announcement if he decide he will run. He also said people is criticizing him, saying he's not fit for the job. But he said, watch me, because he's still full of energy. He's still full of energy. He's going around, flying around, speaking. He's still getting the job done. He's still getting the job done. So that's all the show news I have for you tonight. Have a blessed night, and I see y'all in the next video.